Good day, everyone. This is our last daily top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis video for this week. And this is for July 19, 2019, Friday. This will prepare us for the next trading day on Monday. And as we're going to talk about technical analysis geared for short-term trading, I'll also give you my updates on what I see on the trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts of these 10 stocks. Again, this is for short-term trading purposes. By the end of my analysis, I'll give you my overall sentiment and my recommended plans of actions. And if you have follow-up questions or just in case any of these 10 stocks begin at a price lower or higher than the dominant range that you're about to see, make sure that you ask for any of these 10 stocks latest trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts in our private clients forum. My name is JC De Guzman. Let's begin. So PHA closed today at 0.86. Support is at 0.78. Resistance is at 1 peso per share. My 10 SMACD combo is not yet present, although the last candlestick is already moving above the 10 SMA. On the other hand, the good side of it is the formation of a bullish convergence between MACD and the signal line. The PHA must hit the price somewhere near 0.88 to 0.89, or maybe between 0.88 to 0.9 for MACD to cross above the signal line. How about the fantastic four signals? Before we check their presence, let me give you an update about what I see on the other indicators here. The positive DMI continues its ascent above the negative DMI, but the upward momentum is not yet that very strong. It's not yet strong. The risk level of PHA is moderate. RSI is still the RSI is still trading inside the neutral level. So at this point, consolidation is still very dominant on the chart of PHA. Nonetheless, the foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 8 million pesos today. That's their biggest NFB, or net foreign buying, since let's see, since when? Since, as far as I can check, since 2018, could be since 2019, 2017. Yep, that's their highest to date daily net foreign buying worth 8 million pesos. Now let's check if the Fantastic Four signals are present, because we already know that our 10 SmackD combo is not yet valid. So yes, the Fantastic Four are present. The dominant range is between 0.85 to 0.87. How about the true market sentiment chart? Our true market sentiment tells us that PHA got a bearish TMS, or true market sentiment, and these are the reasons which I'm going to publish in our private clients forum by the end of this video. So given the presence of the Fantastic Four signals, the absence of the 10 SMACD, the bearish sentiment from the TMS chart, what's my overall sentiment here? I'm still neutral on PHA. I'm still neutral. It's a sideways movement. It's still very dominant at this level. You know me, I've mentioned it several times in my previous videos that I would rather trade stocks that are moving in a trend than entering a new position in a stock that is currently moving in a range and not a trend. PHA is in a range right now. Range, not a trend. It's moving sideways. So I personally find it boring to trade stocks that are in a range and not in a trend. So that's my personal disclosure to you. I would rather reassess PHA once it touches 0.78, or I would rather reassess once it breaks above 1 peso per share, to see if the range has already been broken by that time, or the upward momentum is already uh, uh, has already reached a score that is very that supports the idea that the ascent in price will be more likely to continue. But until then, so again, let me clarify. I would rather buy near support or buy on breakout, of course, depending on the presence of the signals that we regularly check. But at this moment, I'm not going to do a test buy on PHA. Okay? That's my advice, especially for those who are planning to enter a new position. Now, it's up to you if you would like to do a test buy because the Fantastic Four signals are present. But as far as my risk appetite and interest in PHA are concerned, I'm not going to do a test buy at this moment yet. Okay, so that's it for PHA. Next is Mega World. Meg closed today at 6.44. Support is at 6.15. There's a resistance near 6.5. As soon as it breaks above the historical resistance at 6.5, we are eyeing how much? 8 pesos, 8 peso per share as our next resistance level, which is in confluence with the 61.8% of 61.8% extension of our up Fibonacci. But of course, it has some precursors before we hit the resistance at 8. It has to go through 7.44, followed by 7.72, both of which are in confluence with the 38.2% and 50% extensions, respectively, of the up Fibonacci. How about the 10 SMA, 10 SMACD combo? They are present. 10 SMACD are present. And the upward momentum is still very strong on Mega World. Risk level is low again. RSI is still quite distant from the classical overbought level. So for as long as the Fantastic Four signals are present, I would say that the ascent in price will then be more likely to continue. But we are yet to confirm. I am yet to tell you if the Fantastic Four signals are indeed present. So relax. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 54 million pesos today. So that's another bullish signal on the chart of Megaworld. Finally, let's find out if the Fantastic Four are present. They are. Okay, confirmed. They are present. The dominant range is between 6.34 to 6.44. Our true market sentiment for Mega World is bearish. Okay, and these are the reasons. Given that, what will be my overall sentiment for Mega World? I am still bullish on Mega World. Okay, but at this point, since Mega World is already registering is already near the all-time high, that's why the top 10 brokers are not that bullish, are not very bullish, because they too are trying to check if someone is willing to buy at a price higher than its prevailing price. So they are quite risk averse, somewhat, like something like that. So they are also monitoring other traders' significant steps on Mega World. But as far as we are concerned, as far as our methodology is concerned, there's nothing that we have to be there's nothing to be alarmed of. You don't have to be very alarmed at this phase of Mega World. For as long as the price is moving above your trailing stop loss, you can go ahead and do a test buy within the dominant range. You know what to do once your trailing stop loss get hit, right? You should know what to do. It's written in our quick start guide. Now, how about if you're about to enter a new position? Of course, you know that you have to go through one extra process if you are a new entrant. And what is that? You should know that. You should calculate your reward to risk ratio first. Okay? The formula is in our quick start guide. If you are satisfied with your triple R, you can go ahead and do a test buy within that dominant range that I have shown you. I am bullish on Mega World. Okay, so after Mega World, we're going to talk about NIKL. NIKL closed today at 2.7. The current support is near 2.35. Resistance is at 2.85 or 2.9 as a precursor to the next resistance at 3.10. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 6 million pesos. That's a bullish signal. The risk level of NIKL is moderate. The upward momentum is not yet very strong. The ADX is 2 points away from reaching that level. And I think that will happen once the price touches between 2.8 to 2.9. But meanwhile, take note of this. RSI is already super close to its classical overbought level. Take note of that. Okay, let's find out, because we already know that our 10 SMACD combo is present. How about the Fantastic Four signals? Fantastic Four, they are present as well. The dominant range is between 2.65 to 2.73. The true market sentiment for nickel is neutral, probably because RSI is already approaching the classical overbought level. My advice for those who have had nickel is to hold your position for now. Don't top up yet. If and only if nickel starts up, will show a dominant range that is closer to the intraday high than the intraday low on Monday, perhaps after about 15 to 20 minutes of trading, then that's the time that you should decide to top up. But for now, we have to monitor this on Monday. Be on top of your trailing stop loss. For those who don't have nickel but are planning to enter a new position, I suggest that you be on a wait and see mode as well on Monday. Same advice that I've given to those who have had nickel. Remember that. My overall sentiment is bullish, but again, I am risk averse. I want you to be uh, cautious, be very careful in deciding to when deciding to top up or enter a new position in nickel. So we all have to monitor first on Monday within the first 15 to 20 minutes perhaps. Okay, so after nickel we have FNI. FNI closed today at 1.55, support is at 1.4, resistance is at 1.7. What else? The upward momentum is not yet very strong. Risk level is low. RSI is still quite distant from the classical overbought level. So for as long as the Fantastic Four signals are present, given the position of the RSI, I would say that FNI will still has enough gas to continue trying to inch closer to the resistance at 1.67. But remember, that's a conditional clause. I gave you a conditional statement. Now, let's find out if the Fantastic Four signals are present on FNI. They are present. The dominant range is between 1.54 to 1.57. The true market sentiment chart, or the true market sentiment of FNI, is bearish already. Okay, bearish. So my overall sentiment here for FNI is that actually I'm still neutral on FNI despite the appearance of the Fantastic Four signals. But if you have had FNI and it's still moving above your trailing stop loss, then you can go ahead and do a test buy within the dominant range. Okay, within the dominant range, but do it conservatively. Do it conservatively on FNI. Now, if you do not have FNI yet, I suggest that you monitor the stock first within the first maybe 15 to 20 minutes as well, or 5 to 15 minutes. If you are seeing the Fantastic Four signals, then you can go ahead and do a test buy on FNI. Of course, you will have to post a request of this stock's latest traded volume distribution and true market sentiment charts in our private clients forum on Monday. Okay, so there you go for FNI. Personal disclosure, I am not into mining stocks. I am not into mining stocks that do more harm than good to the environment. I am an environmentalist, so I have a bearish bias on mining stocks. So that's a personal disclosure. Okay, just so you know that my being environmentalist is affecting my sentiment on these mining stocks. Okay, so after FNI we have Now Corporation again. So Now closed today at 2.71, support is at 1.98, resistance is near 2.88. Historical volatility, so the The risk level of Now Corporation is already in a moderate level. The upward momentum is not yet that very strong. We have to see Now Corporation break above 2.9, and let's see by that time if ADX will already be moving uh, um, will be moving above the 20 point level by that time. Let's see. Okay, but RSI is still quite far from the classical overbought level. For as long as the Fantastic Four signals appear every single day, then I would say that Now Corporation will be more likely to touch and or even break above the resistance at 2.9. But again, that's a conditional clause. The 10 MACD combo is present. Let's check the trade and volume distribution chart to verify if the Fantastic Four signals are also present. And they are. The dominant range is between 2.65 to 2.71. The true market sentiment of Now Corporation is bearish. Yeah, no, not this one. FNI. Yeah, bearish. Okay, it's a bearish one for Now Corporation. So what does that mean? My overall sentiment for Now Corporation is I'm slightly bullish right now, but I'm confident to say that I'm already a confirmed bullish trader for Now Corporation once it breaks above 2.9. But for now, since the our 10 SMACD and our Fantastic Four signals are present, you can go ahead and do a test buy or even top up within the dominant range that I have shown you. Okay? But I'm saying to you that I'll be all the more bullish on Now Corporation once it breaks above 2.9. Well, at this point, for the new entrant, I say that you are better off buying on breakout than buying right now. So wait for the price to break above 2.9. I'm speaking to the new entrants, to those who are planning to enter a new trade on Now Corporation. For those of you who have had Now Corporation, not only today but a few days ago or a few weeks ago, go ahead and do a test buy. Oh, no, not test buy, but go ahead and top up within the dominant range. Okay? The new entrants have to go through another process, and I already mentioned that in the beginning, which is the calculation of your reward to risk ratio. Okay? After Now Corporation, we have WLCON. WLCON closed today at 15.14. Support is at 14. Resistance is at 15.9. The descent in price is probably influenced by of course, number one, the net foreign selling. Foreign investors registered the net foreign selling worth over 100 million uh, from Thursday to Friday. Speculation says that this could be because of the upcoming competitor of WLCON, which is the All Home of Manny Villar. They have plans of pursuing for an IPO this year for All Home. I haven't checked yet what will be the stock code of All Home, but that's one of the speculations that drove the foreign investors to cash out on WLCON. So let's not rely that much on speculation and stick to what we really know, which is the data that we have in front of us. Okay? So what we know here is that our 10 SMACD combo is absent and the Fantastic Four signals went somewhere else. They're absent as well. And the downward momentum is getting stronger with each passing day. But it's not yet in a confirmed very strong level. But let's not wait for that to happen until we realize that there are no buy signals yet. Risk level is low. RSI is already playing inside its classical oversold level, but take note it could get more oversold than this level at this point. So don't enter a new position, and I should not be giving advice for you not to top up because by this time your trailing stop loss must have already been hit unless you tell me that you have an unrealistic risk tolerance of 50%. Okay? So don't enter a new position in WLCON. But for what it's worth, let me show you the trade and volume distribution chart. Here you go. It's closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. The dominant range is between 15.04 to 15.2. The true market sentiment for WLCON is bearish. So I've given you my advice for WLCON. I'm still bearish on WLCON. The descent in price is more likely to continue. After WLCON, we have PNB. PNB closed today at 52.05. Support is at 48.2. Resistance is at 56.6 rather. Okay, 56.6. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 15 million pesos. Our 10 SMACD combo is already inactive. The price is already moving below the 10 SMA, and MACD is showing a formation of a bearish convergence with a signal line. RSI is also pointing towards the southward direction. Okay, risk level is low, but the negative DMI already crossed above the positive DMI, and that's not a good sign if you are looking for buy signals. Let's check the true market the trade and volume distribution. Oh no, it's closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. The dominant range is between 50.951 to 52. 51 to 52.05. The true market sentiment for PNB is bearish. So my overall sentiment is bearish for PNB. If you have been holding onto your PNB and if it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, I suggest that you preempt your trailing stop loss. Do you see this towering red volume bar? Go ahead, preempt your trailing stop loss. Sell a few tranches now, provided if it's still moving above your trailing stop loss. If it already hits your trailing stop loss, you have to sell. Okay, we have to be process oriented, committed to our process. If you are planning to enter a new position, cancel that plan for now. Your 10 SMACD combo is not around. The Fantastic Four are not present. After PNB, we got Bloom. Bloom closed today at 11.52. Support is at 11.14. Resistance is at 13 pesos. Foreign investors continued their daily net foreign selling. Today, they registered a net foreign selling worth 34 million pesos. As a matter of fact, they have been in a net foreign selling mode for 30 trading days straight already. 30 trading days straight. Okay? So, that's a lot of net foreign selling for the past 30 trading days, not calendar days. So that's about a month and a half based on our Gregorian calendar, including the weekends. So RSI is approaching it's already inside the neutral level. Historical volatility puts Bloom in a low risk level, but there's a bearish convergence between the positive and the negative DMI. That's not a good formation if you are hunting for buy signals. Okay, so our 10 SMACD combo is no longer active. Of course, the Fantastic Four signals are not all present. Let me show you the trade and volume distribution chart. This is closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. The dominant range is between 11.52 to 11.6. The true market sentiment of Bloom is bearish. Okay, it's bearish. So my overall sentiment for Bloom is also bearish. If you are holding onto your Bloom and if it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, I suggest that you hold your position. Do not preempt it yet, but do not top up as well. Don't top up. Sell once your TSL gets hit. If you're planning to enter a new position in Bloom, plan something else. Okay? Don't pursue that plan yet. Wait for the Fantastic Four signals to become present. Better yet, wait also for the 10 SMACD combo to be revalidated. No buy signals yet. Okay, after Bloom, we got Flea. Fuel Invest closed today at 1.96. It's really a tough resistance to break, huh? The 2 peso level. Support is at 1.68. The upward momentum remains strong. The risk level is already moderate for flea. RSI is quite distant, quite far from the classical overbought level. The 10 MACD combo is present, but the fantastic four signals are not all present. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 12 million pesos today. So let's take a look at the trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range looks like everything is a dominant range today, from 1.96 to 2.02. Well, let's see. Let me guess. Let's see if the true market sentiment will give us a bearish or a neutral sentiment. What do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, let's see. What do we get? Flea. It's bearish. It's bearish still for flea. Okay, let's see. My overall sentiment here for flea is that, well, it's bearish for yesterday. For Friday, I mean. Okay, for Friday. Now, overall, if we're going to take at the overall picture, I'm still bullish on flea. What does that mean? Let me put this into context by giving you a situation. Number one, if you have had flea and if it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, then that's the bullish situation that I'm saying. If it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, I'm still bullish for you for flea. Okay, so just hold your position, don't top up, don't preempt your trailing stop loss. The volume is relatively not that alarming yet. It's still lower than Thursday's volume. So no need to preempt your trailing stop loss at this point. But of course, that sentiment could change depending on what's currently happening. So be vigilant. Anyway, this is about short-term trading, and I expect that you have the time to monitor price movement by the second if you are engaging yourself into short-term trading. Take note, we don't have a stop loss feature in our broker's interface yet. Okay? Now, how about for those who are planning to enter a new position? Am I bullish for you? No. You got no buy signals for a new entry. Okay, don't enter yet. Take note, even those who have had flea, I did not advise them to top up. Right? So it's all the more that I should not be advising you to enter a new position. Wait for the fantastic four signals to become present, because as far as the 10 MACD combo is concerned, it's already here. It's still here. It's not invalidated yet. Okay, so just wait for the fantastic four signals to become present. You're better off buying on breakout, actually. Okay, so that's my sentiment and pieces of advice for you. Last but not the least, LTG. LTG closed today at 15.26, support is at 14.7, resistance is at 17.4. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 25.5 million pesos. There's already a bearish divergence between the positive and the negative DMI. So the positive DMI already crossed above the positive DMI. Negative over positive. That's not a good sign if you're looking for buy signals. Risk level is low. RSI is approaching the classical oversold level. The 10 MACD combo has already been invalidated. MACD crossed below the signal line today. No buy signals. Okay. This is your dominant range based on the trade and volume distribution. It's between 15.26 to 15.4. The true market sentiment for LTG is also bearish. My overall sentiment is bearish on LTG. Wait for the price to touch the support at 14.7. Take note, I did not say that you should buy once it hits 14.7. I said we have to wait because we have to reassess if the downward momentum shows signs of weakness once it hits 14.7. We have to check if we can see some signs of reversals or if the top 10 brokers are already buying the dips and so on and so forth. So monitor it for now. Be on a wait and see mode. Let's all be on a wait and see mode on LTG. And if your trailing stop loss got hit, sell. Are you planning to enter a new position right now? Freeze that plan. Take note that I have just said that we all have to be on a wait and see mode for now. Okay, it's still more likely to continue its descent toward the support near 14.7. I am bearish on LTG, needless to say. So you've heard my technical analysis and recommendations for these 10 stocks that will prepare you for the next trading day on Monday. Again, for the Davao-based traders and investors, I will see you next Saturday, July 27. For 6 hours, we're going to discuss the evergreen strategy in trading the Philippine stock market. If you are subscribed for 1 year, you can buy your ticket at 50% off. And it's actually a prerequisite when you subscribe to Equilist Analytics. You have to master the ins and outs of my methods. It's an opportunity for me, for you and I, to discuss the ins and outs of this strategy. So see you on July 27. To buy your tickets, go to seminars or simply type in www.equilist.com/Davao, like this. That's where you can buy your ticket. All right. So again, my name is JC De Guzman, and have a restful weekend. Bye for now.